Imagine this. Tomorrow morning, every human on Earth wakes up unable to stand. Without warning, everyone collapses onto all fours. People crawl through their homes. Stairs become a nightmare. Running becomes impossible. The world falls into chaos. It sounds like science fiction, but here's the strange part. For millions of years, walking on four legs was completely normal. In fact, if you could travel back through your family tree far enough, you'd meet an ancestor who never walked upright. So here's the mystery. Why are humans the only mammals that spend almost their entire lives walking on two legs? And here's something even stranger. Walking upright isn't perfect. It causes back pain, weak knees, foot problems, and it even makes childbirth far more difficult than it is for almost every other mammal. If evolution is supposed to improve survival, why would it choose such an imperfect design? The answer didn't just change the way we walk. It changed the future of our entire species. Let's travel back more than 6 million years, long before cities, long before farming, long before language. Our ancestors lived in the forests of Africa. They looked much more like modern apes than modern humans. They climbed trees, slept in trees, found food in trees, and escaped danger by climbing even higher. For millions of years, the forest was their home. Then, the earth began to change. The climate became cooler, rainfall decreased. Slowly, the thick forest started disappearing. In their place, vast grasslands spread across Africa. Imagine waking up one day and discovering that your entire neighborhood had vanished. The trees that once protected you were now separated by huge open spaces. Food became harder to find, travel became more dangerous, and every journey across the grass meant risking an encounter with hungry predators. Some species couldn't adapt. They disappeared forever. But one small group of our ancestors responded in a completely different way. They stood up, not permanently. At first, only for a moment. Just long enough to look over the tall grass, just long enough to spot a lion hiding nearby, or to see the next group of fruit trees in the distance. It seemed like a tiny advantage, but evolution doesn't need giant changes. Sometimes, the smallest advantage, repeated over millions of years, can completely transform a species. Generation after generation, the individuals who stood a little taller often survived a little longer. Their children inherited those tiny advantages. Over countless generations, their bodies slowly began to change. Their legs became longer, their hips became stronger, their spine curved into a shape that supported an upright body. Their feet changed too. The big toe slowly lined up with the others, creating a foot built for walking long distances instead of gripping branches. Little by little, nature was building a creature unlike anything that had come before. But here's the fascinating part. Standing on two legs wasn't the biggest breakthrough. It simply unlocked something far more powerful, something that would eventually allow humans to spread across every continent, build civilizations, and completely reshape the planet. What was that hidden advantage? That's where the story becomes truly incredible. So, what was the hidden advantage that changed everything? It wasn't stronger legs, it wasn't better balance, it was something much more important. Standing up freed our hands, and that single change may have shaped the entire history of humanity. While other animals needed all four limbs to move, our ancestors could carry food back to their families. They could carry their babies across long distances. They could pick up rocks, break branches, and eventually turn those simple objects into the first tools. A sharp stone became a knife, a stick became a spear, and those simple inventions dramatically increased their chances of survival. But walking on two legs gave humans another incredible advantage: endurance. Most animals are much faster than humans. A cheetah can reach incredible speeds. A horse can outrun us. Even a wolf is much faster. But there's one thing humans can do better than almost every animal: keep going. As we run, our bodies cool themselves by sweating. That allows us to stay active for much longer. Most mammals cool themselves by panting, but panting becomes less effective during long chases. Early humans discovered something remarkable. They didn't have to outrun their prey. They simply had to outlast it. Hour after hour, they kept moving. Eventually, the exhausted animals slowed down, and the hunters finally caught up. Scientists call this persistence hunting. It may have helped our ancestors survive during times when food was difficult to find. But evolution always comes with trade-offs. Walking upright solved many problems. It also created new ones. Our curved spine makes back pain common. Our knees carry the weight of our entire bodies. Our feet absorb thousands of impacts every single day. And because our ancestors evolved larger brains, while our hips became better for walking, human childbirth became one of the most difficult in the animal kingdom. The human body isn't perfect. It's a collection of compromises. Every advantage came with a cost, but despite those costs, walking on two legs gave our ancestors something no other species had: the freedom to explore. They crossed deserts, they climbed mountains, they survived ice ages. Over thousands of generations, humans spread across every continent on Earth. They built villages, then cities, then civilizations. One small evolutionary change eventually led to art, science, technology, and everything you see around you today. So, the next time you take a single step, remember, you're using an ability that took millions of years to perfect. Every step carries the story of countless ancestors who adapted, survived, and passed that gift on to you. If our ancestors had never stood up, human history might have looked completely different. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to this channel for more fascinating stories.